GM, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to keep this one fairly quick today. Just to let you know, I'm going to be traveling on Monday of next week. Obviously, we've got sort of the year ends on the 31st, which is the Tuesday. Let's just double check that. Um, and then obviously start the new year Wednesday. So that's going to be a pretty big time. From Tuesday, I will be back in my usual setup. So expect things to be a little bit more back to normal from next week in terms of more frequent videos, doing additional videos. I want to give an update on some of the altcoins. So please do hit subscribe if not done so already to stay up to date and informed about when those videos are dropping. But let's get straight into Bitcoin then. And Bitcoin, no real change, just sideways chop from yesterday, still targeting levels around this descending trend line and then down to around sort of 91,500 and below there, looking for support really to come in within this zone between 80, I'd say all the way down to 85 and 92,000. That is the area that I'd be looking for Bitcoin entries and just not just blindly looking for entries, but obviously looking for confluence within that zone with other indicators. And really the time frame for those entries are really going to be going in towards the end of January. I really think over the course of January, we'll see something like this path that I've drawn here, potentially another sort of test up to around 102,000 and down, chopping down to around 91,500. So really expecting range bound market conditions for the next couple of weeks going into next year. And obviously I remain of the opinion that any significant dips will be for buying when it comes to Bitcoin. Just looking at the liquidation heat map then, and we can see that over the last 24 hours, we're in a tight range. And as you'd expect, we've got liquidity building up just below and just above the recent price range in Bitcoin. If we go over to a 1 week heat map, we can see that the majority of liquidations are above 100,000. This is why I think there is a chance that we tag 100,000, come back down, make a bit of a bear trap, make either a higher low, equal low, get people very bearish, and then look to actually run higher in about a month's time. So, or less than a month's time. I do think come mid-January, we will see prices moving higher, obviously starting to front run Trump's inauguration. Trump has talked about potentially announcing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and some people are guessing this might happen as soon as the first day or the first 100 days of Trump's term as president. So let's see. There are some things to be bullish about. Also, this one I've seen here from Aaron O. If we look at this post, we just close this down because get my head out of the way. Trading Bitcoin with the Christmas calendar is your edge to outperform 99% of crypto traders. Historically, this time of the year marks one of the best ranges to buy Bitcoin. Can you follow the pattern? So, as we can see, we're currently on this green vertical bar here, and this is Christmas after the halving. If we look back at what we've done previously when we've had this green vertical bar, you see price last time around behaved favorably. We got a nice pump throughout Q1 of 2021. If we look at 2017, I mean, we pretty much pumped throughout the rest of the whole year. So a very, very good time to buy Bitcoin. If we look at the yellows as well, we've also had pumps. So this is the Christmas before the halving. And also if we look at whites, we usually get some decent pumps. So really, the time that you want to be out of the market is the Christmas post-market cycle peak. Obviously, the reds, we then saw downwards price action every single previous time that we went through a Christmas that was post-market cycle peak. So obviously, this is really telling us that we have another year of upside, potential year of upside to go until we get to the Christmas post-market cycle peak. Right now we're at the green, so we're looking to go from green to red. And in the previous cases, this was always a great time to be long Bitcoin and holding up until a cycle peak, which always occurred in the following year between the sort of green and the red vertical bars. So I thought that was quite interesting analysis just to really confirm that we don't really want to be getting bearish here. We really want to be remaining long this market, looking for opportunities to allocate more onto on dips, certainly if you've got spare capital, and then to run those positions deep, in many cases, deep into the following year, which in this case is going to be 2025. So let's see how that plays out. Obviously, no change really to my path here. Looks like we might get a lower retest before getting a higher retest, in which case this could move this way. It could be that we've already seen this, but I'm still expecting as a pattern this sort of type of action to sort of play out into the start of January before probably making new all-time highs, or at least challenging new all-time highs at the end of January, early February. If we look at Ethereum as well, again, no real change. Price is looking fairly constructive. I've got my buy zone here. I've talked about the targets being 3,100 and 3,000 and 2,800 on downside, where I'd look to be adding more Ethereum. But to be honest with you, just looking at a weekly, we can see what we're really leaning into here is waiting for Ethereum to break out from this descending trend line at this 3,820 mark, and then for us to get above 4,100 and start to run higher and come to test these all-time highs up here on Ethereum, just shy of 5,000. So I still think that this move happens over the next few weeks for Ethereum. And Solana, I expect, provided it can hold up here and it can hold around this major support that it's at currently, then Solana should also, I think, start to come up, likely take out its current all-time highs in 2025, probably Q1 2025, and see an extended push higher. I mean, these markets can run very, very quickly. I mean, if we just look at where Solana was back in October, we can see it was down at 100 in the 150s, sort of 157 there, and of course it ran up to 260. So literally put a $100 move in over the course of about 3 weeks. I mean, you know, 3 weeks from now takes us to sort of the middle of January. And if we were to put on $100 move from here, we'd basically be at new all-time highs. So what I'm trying to say is when this market does flip bullish again, I expect the moves upwards to be very fast, very aggressive. And really, you want to be positioned into this market before those moves take place. Looking at Pepe as well here, Pepe still holding its previous all-time high now as support. So looking very constructive on Pepe. Really, there's no issue with these markets grinding sideways for the next couple of weeks. And then when we start to see volume pick up again into the new year, I expect that these markets will be well poised to then tackle their all-time highs once again in the next quarter. So that's really it. Very quickly, look at DXY. Obviously, as we talked about, expecting a rejection at one of these fib targets moving forward. So no real change here. DXY is still looking quite strong. And the stock market, we can see just on a daily here, stocks having a little bit of a sell-off today. Obviously, Bitcoin and cryptos remaining strong. So that is some nice, sort of bullish divergence occurring right now. We can see quite a nasty dip on the Nasdaq. However, the Nasdaq is starting now to reverse. If we just throw on a fib retracement, we can see that the Nasdaq has come down to its 0.5. So obviously that 0.5 level providing crucial again on one of the markets that we track. We've talked about 0.5 being an area that a lot of traders do look at when it comes to making entries into trades. Obviously, a lot of traders will be looking to follow the direction of the overall trend in the stock market, which of course at the moment is higher, and looking for entries. And it's good to see buying step in at that 0.5. Hopefully Nasdaq can make its way back to its all-time highs, and obviously that should have a nice following then to Bitcoin, which should also get a nice response if stocks are strong. Of course, there is a positive correlation between the two. So I think really in an ideal world, well, it's just really either way, you really want to see stocks getting back to all-time highs to then sort of give Bitcoin the momentum to get back to its all-time highs. For now, it is still behaving as a risk-on asset. I know people are saying it's a digital gold, it's going to displace gold, it's going to replace gold, but for now, it's not really been treated as a safe haven yet. It is being treated as a risk-on asset. So having a few technical problems as we speak, and that's probably a sign to close the stream here. So let me see if I can come off share. I don't know if I can. Hopefully this does record, but thanks for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Have a great day, everybody, and I will talk to you all on the next one. GM, GM, GM.